Thank you, Mr. Bates. Hello and welcome. My
Pleasure.
name is Sam and I'm here with Simon. It's the Sam and Simon Show, take 504. We're
Good to be back.
Good to be back. We're here to talk to you about dirty alto sax mouthpieces.
Well, this one's grey, I guess.
It is, yeah. We've got three colours as well, haven't we?
We have.
But we've got here today the Rico Metalite, which is around £50 at the time of recording. The Claude Lakey, which is around £120. And then we've got the Vandoren we're going to compare as well, which is just under £200 as it stands at this point of recording. So Simon, I have with me as chief dirty alto player, and we're going to get him to demonstrate them. And I'm really interested in what Simon's thoughts are on these as well. And I think generally, Simon, these sorts of mouthpieces, like we said in the Vandoren video, perhaps they're for people who want maybe to play more in that funky, rocky, poppy kind of vibe, but they maybe don't want a metal mouthpiece because either the feel or the cost.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the mouth feel is very important. Yeah. Well, let's get on to that.
He's got a thought about that.
I have got a thought about that, actually,
cool.
if I'm honest. Yes.
Well, we're going to start with the Rico Metalite. So these were made a good number of years ago. Then for a period they weren't. Now they're back available again. They do them in certainly alto, tenor, barry, I think soprano as well. The baritone one's super fun, but we may do another video on that one day. But this is the Alto M7, so the sort of 7-tip opening. So let's give it a whack and then we'll see what we think about that. So let's break this down into two things, Simon.
Okay.
Sound and then actual feel and response for you, and physical feel as the player.
Yeah. Sound, I think is great. It's really free blowing, particularly at the top. It's a little bit stuffy at the bottom, perhaps, but you know, sometimes with a mouthpiece that's that bright, you know, it's a bit of a compromise to, you know, from the sound point of view. It sounds good. It responds well. You know, I'm hitting the notes that I want to hit, so you know that's not an issue. But in terms of the shape of the mouthpiece and the mouthfeel, I'm not a fan.
Right.
I have to be honest.
Why?
There's a weird kind of step from the mouthpiece up to the reed. I don't know whether that comes across there. Maybe Sam will insert a close-up at this point. But it's not doesn't feel to me like a conventional mouthpiece. Now, that's something that I could probably get used to, but yeah, it's a little strange.
It's disconcerting you at this point.
It is, yeah. I have to say, I'm not quite as comfortable with this mouthpiece as I am with any other mouthpiece in the range, even though the sound's great.
Yeah, it sounded good to me here, but it'd be interesting to hear how the others compare. Just before we move on to the Lakey, which is the next one up, yeah, these are very affordable. And I think if the budget is tight, certainly maybe if it's like your second instrument, if you're an alto player and you just want like a fairly dirty sounding tenor piece or a barry piece, and you haven't got crazy amounts of money to spend.
Or indeed, if you're playing in a wind band or something like that, and someone says, "Can you play a pop solo for me over, you know, or do a function or whatever?"
Yeah.
This could be the sort of thing if you're only going to use it now and again.
Yeah, that's a good point. And for that price, at least you do kind of get that authentic vibe. We'll move on to Lakey, and we'll tell you about the ligature later as well, actually. But just reed-wise, Simon, what did we use on this test?
This is a Vandoren Java Strength 3.
Okay,
the green Java.
Green Java 3.
Normal Java.
Cool. Well, we'll get the Lakey on, and we'll be right back with that so you can hear how it sounds.
We will.
This is the Lakey. Been selling these for years. Loads of people love the Lakeys. I tell you, two fantastic UK sax players who use Lakeys and have done for years. Simon Williscroft.
Oh, yeah.
Lisa Graham. Both of them use and have used.
And Derek Nash.
And there you go. So three players who do quite a lot of pop, commercially stuff. Simon obviously does the Duran Duran band. So anyway, Lakey's alto and tenor. This is a 7-star 3, which is the main one that we sell. There is a 6 and there is an 8 either side of it if you wanted that for tip opening reasons. These material-wise are kind of a plastic, essentially like a hybrid plastic. So it's not ebonite like the Vandoren, and it's not the weird Metalite Rico mix either. So it looks the most normal of all these three, but maybe let's hear how it sounds, Simon, and then
Indeed, yeah.
I'll be interested on your thoughts.
Yeah, it's got a great response, but it is the most polite, I think, of the three mouthpieces that we're reviewing. It'll take you to the brightness that you want, and also, you know, the mellowness. I mean, down at the bottom particularly. I mean, you know, to be honest, for years I've used one mouthpiece for jazz and one mouthpiece for pop. This kind of thing, and that's why, you know, obviously Willis Croft and Lisa and Derek use a mouthpiece like this, because all three of them kind of play a bit of jazz, they play a bit of pop, they play a bit of this and a bit of that, and then they stick to one mouthpiece, and that's what works for them.
Yeah.
And this is the sort of thing, if you just want to play one mouthpiece, absolutely ideal, because you can get the brightness out of it, but you can also get the mellow, you know, slightly sort of, I guess, lead alto type sound.
I was going to say, lead alto in a big band, happy on one of those?
Perfect, yeah. Absolutely perfect, yeah.
You could hear, I can imagine in a section you'd hear it quite nicely as well if you're sat, you know, further down the line and you need to follow someone when it's lead, especially, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be completely honest, it sounded more mellow in your hands than I thought it would.
Oh, okay.
Is that a compliment? Is it an attack?
Who knows?
Who knows? It's definitely somewhere in the middle. So and that was with the Java 3 as well?
That's right, exactly the same setup for all of these three mouthpieces. I mean, I will say it feels really good in the mouth as well. It's a very comfortable mouthpiece to play.
Yeah.
You know, embouchure just goes straight on, no compromise. Okay. Yeah, just a really easy mouthpiece to play.
So maybe a nice all-round. And price-wise, about 120 English. Great British pounds.
That's not bad.
And you can spot a Lakey a mile off because of this little ring. So if you ever see any people playing them, you'll know it's a Lakey because of that little ringlet there.
Yeah.
That might not be the correct word, who knows. Anyway, we are going to move on. We're going to try the Jumbo Java A45 Blue, the third colour of the video, the third mouthpiece of the video, and we'll be right back with that in just a second. All right, we're back. We've got the Jumbo Java A45 Blue. We've done a separate video in a bit more detail on this, but for now, Simon, let's just get into it, have a bit of a blow, and then we'll get your thoughts.
Okay, immediately I have to say, of all the three of them, this is the one that makes me smile the most.
Yeah, even as a listener, you know, there's a big volume step.
There's power, yeah. I mean, you know, as we have said in the dedicated video to this, you can make it mellow, but you know, this is a real jumbo mouthpiece, hence the name. I do really like this mouthpiece.
Yeah,
it's just fun to play.
Give us a bit of the mellow.
Okay, so yeah, mellow down the bottom. So it's got quite a good subtone as well.
But then you can kind of go all Maceo on it as well.
You can. Yeah.
So thank you.
No, I do like that very much.
I mean, you're putting a smile on your face. I mean, we're joking about it, but really, whenever you try mouthpieces or reeds or instruments, it's that feeling, isn't it? Of okay, I can make this. I can make music with it. It's my voice. It's my vibe.
Yeah. And you know, I'm not particularly saying that because I love this mouthpiece, you're not going to love the others, because you know, clearly some great saxophone players use the Lakey, for a start. But you know. For me, though, I'm going to be bold here, and yes, it's the most expensive, of course, so it should be better. I think what I used to refer now as the Lakey as that standard thing.
to go to for this type of playing. This, I think, is the new standard thing.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Judging, really just from the 3 mouthpieces I've tried today.
Yeah.
And in fact, sadly, they go up with price for me. The Rico, I wouldn't be interested in. The Lakey, yeah, it works. It's nice. It's versatile. This, yeah, I'd want to play it.
And I think it has that similar versatility as the Lakey.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But maybe with a bit more at either end.
Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, look. Shock horror of the video: the more you spend, the more you get.
Yes.
But
not always, though. Not always.
It's not.
Sometimes
It's not always true. No.
I mean, it feels nice in the mouth. If I'm perfectly honest, I think the Lakey probably feels just a little bit better because it's got this slightly narrow profile. But I mean, it's something you'd very easily get used to.
Yeah. One final thing we're just going to point out: we did use green Java 3s on all the mouthpieces. This is tip opening on this is a bit bigger than the others. It's similar to about an 8. The Lakey is a 7. The Metalite was a 7. You using a BG Duo black ligature.
I am indeed.
Also available at Dorks Music. And other than that, we've been using your saxophone, which is a Yamaha 875 custom.
Yes.
With all the bells and whistles. So that's pretty much it for our review of these 3. Hopefully you found that interesting and useful. Do let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Why not? Terrible. There'll be more videos coming, and I promise you it won't always be the more expensive, the better. We'll try and find one that bucks the trend, shall we say. But maybe, Simon, you can give us a bit of something to play us out.
Indeed, yes. Yeah, that is a lot of fun.